Superdad is a 1973 Disney film directed by Vincent McEveety, written by Joseph L. McEveety and Harlan Ware, and stars Bob Crane as Charlie McCready. And we also have Kathleen Cody as his daughter Wendy and Kurt Russell as Bart. And Charlie is a very controlling father because he has his daughter's best interests at heart, but he wants to make sure she goes to the right college, i.e., his alma mater. He wants to make sure she hangs around with the right people. And he starts to take some interesting decisions to kind of make sure he spends time around her and is basically in places where you wouldn't expect or where wouldn't want your own parents to be. And he's very much encroaching on her life, and he takes some pretty drastic action to make sure that her life goes in a direction that he wants, rather than what she might want for herself. And it's basically a lesson in overparenting or helicopter parenting. And I think it's something that every parent can learn from, that you shouldn't try and control your child's life, that you can encourage them to do something, but ultimately it's their life and they should be able to do things their way. And if they're doing the wrong thing, that's not to say Wendy is or isn't, but if the child is doing something that's maybe not the best for them, as long as it's not dangerous, it's better to let them make their own mistakes or come to their own conclusions and realize what's right for them on their own terms. I think it was a pretty fun film. I think Charlie is a likable character, even though he's obviously not behaving in a way that's particularly admirable. I did enjoy watching the character's journey and watching him, wondering what on earth he was going to do next. Kurt Russell as Bart is great. Bart's a really likable character, and I really liked Wendy as well. I thought, I wanted the best for her. She wasn't annoying or anything. Had she been, not that likable, then it would have meant maybe I wouldn't have cared quite so much about the outcome for her character, but I wanted the best for her, and I wanted her to discover the best for her on her own terms, not because of a father who is a little bit too controlling. I enjoyed it. I thought the characters were really interesting. The narrative was quite fun. I'd say it's pretty unpredictable. Some of the things that Charlie does I wouldn't have guessed, and some things I can think were maybe a little bit understandable, but at the same time that doesn't make it right. It's a good film. I'd say it's worth watching at least once. Would I watch it again? Probably not. I didn't think it was, that engaging. Once I've gone through it once and I know what happens, and I know what happens to the characters, that's enough to keep me happy. I enjoyed watching it as a one-time film. Might not watch it again, but I'd recommend it. The pacing was good, the characters were good, the narrative develops well, it's not that predictable, quite surprising things, it's a little bit funny. I wouldn't say it's, hysterically funny, but it has its moments. Definitely not a bad film at all.